What's up, everyone? This is Dan, your CEO and founder of Valynt Digital, and you are tuning into Valynt Volumes. Ooh, I switched it up today.
I liked that. Okay.
And then next to me, I have,
My name is Makayla Mitchell, otherwise known as Mac.
bro, I switched it up.
I liked that. Tuning in.
Yeah, tuning in. I heard it somewhere, I think this morning or something. So.
Yeah.
How's your week?
It's been good.
Yeah.
Ever since we had the discussion about, Q4 really being a focus on Valiant branding,
Mhm.
my brain has been just like trying to think of that, everything from FC Dallas to just the different PR articles that
stuff,
are
yeah.
personal, like you focused or Valiant focused. So
Yeah.
that's been exciting. Listening to different podcasts too, learning new phrases to implement into our
See?
stuff.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah,
That's been good.
my week's been pretty busy too. Like, I mean, because you hang around me quite a bit. So, from having new team members on our team to I still haven't got to the website stuff yet.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. But just being able to take a bunch of stuff off of my plate this week with the new team, that's been a great feeling.
Yeah.
Like it really has. Because I mean, the task list that I have is like 200 plus. It may sound insane for some people, and there's probably other people that has a bunch. But these 200 things are things that I've thought about. Like I was like, oh, we need to do these things for Valiant. So I'm happy this week.
Yeah. Was it challenging onboarding 3 new team members of all, because it wasn't all the same role? There's 2 the same role, and then
2 digital marketing managers and 1 digital account manager.
Was that challenging, or was it easier?
I didn't really know what to expect, but it really hasn't been that challenging as I thought it would be, because I think I've done a better job. Like selfishly, like I think I've done a better job of just like delegating it to like Gavin and Marissa to kind of handle some of the like the nitty gritty stuff. So I'm trying not to handhold people, not like I'm a, what do you call it? What's the word? Micromanaging. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I never really do that, but like this time I had some agenda set. We actually have a bunch of stuff going on, so there's a lot for them to learn, and it hasn't been. And the other thing, kudos to the new team members, they all have agency background.
Yeah.
So like it's not like they're like, oh, what are we doing here today? Like they know, they already have input on how to onboard a new client and what platforms we should be using to better making that onboard like smoother. They just have good ideas already because they have agency background, so like that's exciting actually.
Yeah, I like that. And you mentioned the micromanaging. I don't think you ever were a micromanager. It's just you were it's easier if I do it.
Yeah,
like it's faster if I do it, and if I do it, like I don't have to like explain how to do it, or if I don't have to course correct it if it goes awry. But now that you have like team leads, which I'll just call them for now, Marissa and Gavin, and then like the new team members, you're able to actually divvy out the nitty gritty stuff, like you said, but then also like the actual tasks. And you had like a team meeting where you were going about having different projects assigned, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, all kinds of projects, like all the things that I wanted to get to in the last 6 months. I probably got rid of half of them.
Oh, that's cool.
To the new team. And then like this coming Tuesday, we have like another kind of like team meeting, like in person, to kind of go through all of that and see, what the progress looks like, and then help them through challenges or whatever. Right. So it's exciting. That's on that side, but on the personal side, like I just been waking up super early. I think I'm just excited right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And like super early is like 4 a.m.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
like
I'm just up at 4.
How does the rest of your day look like whenever you wake up that early? Are you still going to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock? Are you?
I know this is more of a longer conversation, but like I wake up at 4, I do some work stuff, and then I'm at the gym. I'll play basketball / like lift weights, do cardio. Then I come back, I'm getting ready, and then I'm working again throughout the entire day. But then I did start taking this keto thing that what's that guy? What's that dude that like boxes? Oh, like Jake Paul, and then his brother.
Luke,
you know what I'm talking
Pauls.
Yeah, the Paul. But they promote it, but like it's like super legit. Like it
Logan,
really,
right?
Yeah, Logan Paul, right? Yeah. He's like, no, so like I take that in the morning with some other stuff. So like it really helps me like just go throughout the day without ever getting sleepy. Like I'm just on it.
Do you feel wired?
No, no, I never feel wired because it doesn't even have caffeine in it, but it's keto. So like I don't know how to explain it. Like maybe I'll put the product like right here, like later on. I don't know.
Maybe you'll be a brand ambassador.
Okay. All right. So what are we here to talk about today?
Today I wanted to do some Q&As.
Ooh, we're back to Q&As.
Yes, we had 3 topics to discuss today,
Uh-huh.
so we'll
Okay.
just dive right in.
Yeah, go for it.
Starting at the top. So
Mhm.
one question that you and I have talked about a lot, and it's actually relevant because we
I totally know what that
met
was.
somebody in the parking lot today.
Yeah.
That you can add to that if you want to. But
Okay, sure.
the question is, what impact does the people you surround yourself have on your personal and professional
Ooh, that's a great
being?
one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, you got to chime in on this one
Oh, of
because I
course.
want to hear your examples here
Mhm.
too. But like it, like I think a lot of people have heard like, hey, surrounding yourself with the 5 people that the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most, you end up being like them
Mhm.
from an income level, from a fitness level to opportunity level. And I can elaborate on those 3 things
Mhm.
because it's been true for me. It's been true for this business. It's been true for my personal life. Um, I know it's very important that who you surround yourself with, like you become like, let's be real. Like if you're like, I used to party on the weekends all the time. You
Just
know
the
what I mean?
weekends?
Yeah, if you want me to be honest, like every day almost.
I mean,
Like
I had a habit where I was drinking way too
yeah.
much too. So
But then if you look at those time frames, right, wouldn't you agree like everybody around you was just drinking all the time?
yeah, it
Right?
was
Like
part of my job. And then as I
yeah.
exited the bar industry, it was just the norm to be drinking. What do we do at the end of the day? We drink. How do we shift gears? We drink. It's
Right.
just,
That's
how
just
do we
their lifestyle.
celebrate? We drink.
Right. But that's their lifestyle. But am I right to say though, even within that industry, there's those people that are in the industry that doesn't have that lifestyle
Yeah.
right? So like it's who you surround yourself with. And I found that to be true for myself. So like when I surrounded myself and I had people around me that just partied and drank and went to the clubs and bars and all of that, like my life it was terrible.
Hmm.
Like it was really terrible. I was super overweight. I weighed like 250 pounds.
I remember feeling like crap all the time.
Yeah, that too. And you're just not productive. I'm always sleeping in till like 9, 10. Like my lifestyle was just completely different. But then also like on a professional side, I had zero opportunities coming to me. I was making, just below average. Whatever that average is of like 45 or like 50 in the state of Texas, like take that and cut it in half.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, it was shit.
So like besides running into
Hmm.
your own personal celebrities that you're influencers that you follow online in the
Hmm.
park, instead of running into them in the parking lot, how do you surround yourself with people that you want to be more like, or that you want to
Yeah.
have a better impact on you?
That's a great question. You gotta make the change yourself first. Like if you want to get into a certain type of circle because you're tired of the life that you live and you're just not look, you could be happy with
Hmm.
your current situation and not be content. You know what I mean? Like you're happy, but you're striving to go above and like increase your income, like get in better shape and all of that stuff. The best way to do it is to start with yourself. So like when I was in that shitty situation, I started reading books, like not reading because I don't like reading.
But you were
Yeah.
listening to
I
different
listen. I
books.
listened to. There was multiple years in my mid 20s to where I listened to over 50 books a year. I remember there's a year at least I listened to like 70 books, and they're still all on my phone because I bought them all.
Hmm.
And I started there because I didn't have anybody around me, or I didn't know anybody that lived a better lifestyle than I did. You know what I mean? Like all my friends were people that drank or that worked in the same type of company and stuff. So I didn't know where to go for opportunity. I just didn't know. I just wasn't smart enough to know. So like I started there and it opened my eyes up. Then I started working out consistently and that changed. And then once my lifestyle changed and I started like not eating shit food all the time, I still eat like shit food here and there, but like once I started that, then I started applying for like different jobs. You know what I mean? Because I felt better about myself. Like I was building my own self confidence during
Hmm.
that process,
Yeah.
and I started to the books really opened my eyes about like what type of opportunities are out there. So I as I built the confidence, I gave it a shot, and here I am today. But I
Do
mean,
you,
I'm skipping like 15 years.
yeah.
You
Do you
know?
have a top like 2 or 3 books that come to mind? I know one
Yeah,
that we both read is like Outliers, which is a good one. That's just like a lot of people can find something to relate to within that
yeah.
book by
Isn't that Malcolm
Malcolm.
Gladwell?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Think and Grow Rich is always gonna be in my top 5
Hmm.
by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, you recommended that one to
Not
me.
the conqueror Napoleon Hill, but
Okay,
like
got
this
it.
guy named Napoleon Hill.
Got it.
And that book really opened my eyes. And Think and Grow Rich is about a book that changes the way you like perceive yourself. It creates awareness,
Mhm.
and it also makes you open your eyes about what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And you know how, sure, there are circumstances that you can't control, but there's a lot of shit that you can control. A lot of people aren't controlling. So that's another thing I should probably add. Like, if you want to change your life, start controlling the things and paying attention to what you can control. So like that sounds simple as shit, but like the food that you eat, the workouts, like stop hanging around those people that just
Yeah.
are in that lifestyle that you don't want to be around.
Yeah. And
That makes a difference.
that can include like the Debbie Downers or the people who just
Sure. Oh yeah,
always
that's a
have
big
a
one.
negative thing to say to contribute to the conversation rather than
Yeah.
adding a positive or just like exploring
Yeah.
more of like what good in that is, you know?
I can tell you, as I progress to this position that I am in, like society, kind of, like I have no Debbie Downers in my life, like none. I mean, you know these people that I'm with. Usually, like they're hyping me up,
Right.
or like they're calling me like super hyped about
D
something.
spots.
Yeah, that's, you know, Chris, for example.
Yeah.
You know, but I have no Debbie Downers, and everybody, every time we have a challenge, we all only are solution oriented. There's only solution oriented conversations that we have about the things that we're going through.
Yeah, that's been a big topic of conversation that I've
Mhm.
heard just on the different calls that you're having with clients to the team or just between the two of us.
Yeah.
So being solution oriented is like the topic right
Even
now.
even our clients that we work with, there are Debbie Downer people, you know, that just only sees the problem
Mm-hmm.
and can't see the solution that we're providing when challenges arise in the process of them raising capital by partnering with us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We help them get there, and we have with certain clients, but it's the same thing whether it's business or personal. Like, that positive outlook is a must. Like, you got
Yeah.
to have that there. And I'll say this, like, as you start to surround yourself with more positive people that are doing the things that you want to be doing in life, from an income level, like if you're, let's just say as an example, like if you're making 50K a year, I promise you everybody that you typically know and that you hang out with a lot is making like within a 20% range or
Mm-hmm.
25% range, so like 50 or like 60K. But then if you insert yourself into like the six figure, like 150K, then I promise you that the people around you are making that. And then once you get yourself to like the 400K range, most of those people are going to be making that too.
Yeah.
And it's the same in business. Like, we started in Valynt Digital working with businesses that were doing like 200,000 a year, 500,000 a year. You know what I mean? So like the fees that we can charge reflected that income of that business that we worked with. But then as we progressed and like added more value internally to be able to offer better things to our clients and more and certain results for our clients, then we can charge more. And the clients that we work with became bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of
So
course.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Before we go to our next question,
Mm-hmm.
what actually prompted this topic
Mm-hmm.
to talk on the podcast was when you
Yeah.
mentioned a scenario or some like experiment that was done with the
Mm-hmm.
dogs limping. Do you remember that? Because I think that's a
Yeah.
perfect, like, really simple example to
Yeah.
really like encompass everything that we just talked about.
Yeah. Okay. And this happens to people subconsciously for
Mm-hmm.
the most part. So like there's this experiment, I just don't remember, so I can't quote any of it from any source
We
or
just know
anything.
how it happened.
Yeah. Like they did an experiment and put a healthy dog into a pack of dogs that were like handicapped. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So like they had injuries. So like all of these dogs that they put this healthy dog that has all four legs that can walk normal and run normal, they put them around a pack of dogs that's like limping
Mm-hmm.
24/7, right?
Yeah.
Because they have an injury. So within just a few short weeks, the other dog that was healthy stopped using its one of its legs
Yeah.
and started like hopping around,
Right.
which is insane because from you know, I can't talk about, I don't know how dogs think and you know that stuff,
But it translates to
but
human
yeah,
behavior too.
yeah, it's the human behavior. So like if you typically don't drink and you were never a drinker and you drink for the first time with friends that's been drinking, you know, that like it's like say no to drugs. It has a point, okay?
No, it
It has a
does.
point. Say no to drugs. It has a point.
But when
Okay?
you're around enough people that either they're drinking or they're complaining about their lifestyle and they're not
Mhm.
making a change or they're content making, a couple dollars an hour,
Yeah.
and that's like
That
the
rubs
choice to
off.
stand there, it rubs off, and it's also something that you may continue to reflect in your own self. Well, I guess all my other friends are doing it, so like it's normal if I would do it too.
Right. And yeah, without you knowing, like you get stuck in that lifestyle until you become aware of it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like if you want to make a change, like it really does. Like it impacts your business life. in professional life, and it also affects your personal life.
Yeah.
Because if you're in shape, most of the people probably around you are in shape, or you know a lot of people that are in shape
Yeah.
that eat right and all this other stuff. So it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's move to question number 2.
Yeah.
Can you put a business in cruise control? It almost kind of translates perfectly though, because
Yeah.
when you're around certain people
Yeah.
that are like we just described,
Mm-hmm.
you can put yourself in cruise control and just be content with what's going on. So
Sure. I was guilty of thinking that I could put a business in cruise control
okay.
like many years
What does
ago.
that mean though? Just
Cruise control means like, oh, you get it to a certain point
Mhm.
and like you can just kick back, put your feet up, go on a trip, go on vacation forever and never worry about a thing. Like let it just get on cruise control. You never pay attention to it. You don't have to do anything with it. Like
Mhm.
I thought you could put a business in cruise control, but there's no such thing as putting a business in cruise control because you're either going forward or you're going backwards. Like there's also no like being stagnant in business because there's other competition, new services, new products, and all this, depending on what industry that you're in. There's
Mhm.
always new things coming out, and customers are always being hit with new marketing, messages that are going to they're either going to go with a competition or they're going to stay with you. So, um, you can't, you can't take your eyes off of your business. Sure, can you hire people to like come inside and take the day-to-day tasks off of your plate? Yeah, absolutely you can. But that doesn't mean it goes on cruise control because like you got to have certain things. I mean, it's even hard to put a business and put systems in business, let alone like trying to let it just run on its own. There is no such thing.
Okay.
And no, go
Mm,
ahead. Go ahead.
well, I know you've had a bunch of different businesses that you've
Hmm.
started. Maybe some were successful, others were not.
No, all of them weren't except for this one.
Okay. I didn't want to make that assumption. So when you say
Yeah.
that you've made the mistake of thinking you can put a business on cruise control, was that
Mhm.
with Valiant? Was that a different business? Like, how did you learn that lesson?
Mostly with this business because I thought when it got to a certain point,
Hmm.
like I could just like not pay attention to it. If I just get the right team members in on board, I don't have to ever like focus on that part of like the agency. I had thoughts like that, but the more and more like growing this agency, I realized the more and more like it's not about the time, it's more so about like how I'm paying attention to it. But if I define cruise control, like my definition of cruise control and why I'm saying the things I'm saying is that I feel like you just leave it where it's at and then you can walk away because it's just like running on its own.
Hmm.
And I think that never really happens. I mean, I think you can walk away from a business if you find the right person, but that person that you put in charge has to
Oh,
pay
okay.
attention to the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So like I can always walk away. So yeah, let me clarify that. I know I can walk away from this agency like if I wanted to, maybe like way down the road, but like you still got to put somebody in charge that's paying attention to the business. And same thing with your team members slash like employees, right? Like a red flag from a team member is if they're like, oh yeah, I can put it on cruise control. You just can't. You can't put ads on cruise control. You got to pay attention to everything that's happening.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think it's been really interesting to see, like, now that you have team members to take stuff off your plate, you actually have the brain space to
Hmm.
focus on different aspects of it. And
Yeah.
while, Valiant branding is a big part of Q4 right now,
Right.
but you're also able to like figure out and pay more attention to like the different
Hmm.
AI features that we can add and actually like
Hmm.
add new business to the business. So that's cool to
Yeah.
like see.
That's true. And I that is true though, because I am having more space in my brain. Like even like this week's meeting, at the very beginning of the week, it's more so like getting all the team members like moving in the right direction and
Hmm.
like thinking through that process and who needs to do what to get us there
Yeah.
versus like me just doing it. So like, but I mean, it's fucking 6 years coming
Yeah.
to be able to get to this point.
I mean, you look so tired when you said that.
Yeah,
Your eyes.
because I felt tired
Oh my
for a
gosh.
second.
Um, I remember, I don't know who said it
Yeah.
to us, or maybe it was just something that you said about us, is that
Mhm.
um, we became such generalists about,
Mhm.
Valiant and everything that we were doing just to
Yeah.
make sure that we could keep moving forward and maintain the
Mhm.
business for where we were. And now
Yeah.
you actually have these specialists coming
That's
in
right. Yeah.
that are good in their
Yeah, they
vertical,
specialize in certain things. Yeah,
So,
because even as a digital marketing like person, like a manager, like we have new team members. They both know how to build ads and all of that, but they're also both strong in different areas. Like one person might be stronger in like organic content,
mhm.
plus seeing like how ads tie into that, versus somebody else might be more analytical in the ad side of things. So like I do already see like the difference in the two new hires that we have,
Yeah.
and how that's going to improve everything that we're doing,
That's
you
awesome.
know. And then we even, I mean, they even offered us like this, hey, you should use this for onboarding for clients to like make that process even like smoother. So like, again, I'm super excited. Yeah.
I like that you have people on your team who are surrounding you with new ideas and not just order takers that you have to
Hmm.
give the ideas to, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, it's been great for sure.
do you want to add anything else to the cruise control topic before I go to number 3?
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
If,
And when you're driving on
yeah,
cruise control, you still have to pay
that's the only.
attention.
Yeah, that's well. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a great
Why
one.
didn't
Look
I
at
say that
you.
earlier?
Look at you.
You still got to be
Yeah,
looking. You
you
still
still
have to have your
gotta.
pedal near the gas and the
Yeah,
brakes.
you gotta put the hand on the wheel here and there. You know,
10 and
I don't
2.
know how Teslas work, but I mean, you,
Got it.
you still. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way to wrap it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Uh-huh.
number 3
Yeah.
is, can you really raise millions using digital marketing? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay, I knew that'd be
Of
the
course, you
answer.
can raise money using digital marketing.
So what has to go right to raise millions with digital marketing?
Ooh, a lot has to go right
Okay.
to raise money through digital marketing. Just talking about like the digital marketing side of things. Um, I will say, like, you know, I'll start from the part where we vetted out the organization that's raising the capital. So they're structured in a way that they do have a great team, a great product, that they're already working on. Let's say they already have a prototype or something like that. Um,
So
so
we
they
know
have,
the client is the right fit.
yeah, the
for
client is the right fit.
this
Let's start
initiative.
there. So once we identify that, there's a whole slew of things that has to go right on our side for us to be able to raise the capital. I think we can already put out the fact, you know, put in there that we already have the data of the millions of accredited investors and retail investors and like investment firms that the clients want to get in front of. So that part's already taken care of, right? So that part's already right. We have the data. The other thing that has to go right, I'll start here. You have to build a funnel. Well, no, let's start with the content creation. You have to create content that's going to engage the right type of investors for your investment opportunity. That's one. And I'm going to stay high level here.
Okay.
And then when I say content, I mean graphics, I mean videos, like video production, long form videos, short form videos. So that's one. Then you got to be able to write engaging copy, like short copy, long copy, bullet point copy, just different variations of copy, and making it very specific to the type of investor that you're reaching out to. You could have the same deal on the back end, but if you're talking to an investor, let's say it's a real estate deal. And if you're talking to an investor that typically invests in real estate, that copy and that messaging is going to be different, compared to the messaging that you're going to put in front of investors that typically invest in tech. You know what I mean? On why they should invest in this real estate deal that's happening, right? So that's the second thing. The third thing is you got to pick the right platforms that you're running these campaigns on. So like you really got to be able to understand like, okay, where are these investors hanging out at? You know, which platform am I using? Am I using LinkedIn? Am I using Meta? Am I using some sort of DSP and targeting people, you know, going through the audience network? There's all these different areas. I mean, because there's so many different platforms, right, that you can choose from. So you have to pick the right platforms. Then once you build a campaign, you figure these things out. You create the content, you have the graphics, the videos, the copy, and you pick the platforms. Now you have to be able to build these and craft these content together to where you build this pretty
intricate
funnel that sorry.
Did you get emotional about it?
Yeah, I was crying. I'm getting emotional.
You need to sleep?
No, I think I'm good. Okay. So you gotta create this intricate funnel that strategically targets these investors with the content in a particular order, that allows them to self-educate themselves about the investment opportunity and makes it very attractive for them to be like, oh, I want to learn more, and click on the call to action button. But then even after they click the call to action button, what needs to happen is there needs to be some sort of follow-up process in place, right? And we built this as we've learned more about the industry that we talked about, you know, in the previous episode that we shot. So I'm referencing the episode where Jagger was on. We talked a little bit about that. But so once an investor shows interest and they come to your site, or they fill out this lead form and provides us their information, like first name, last name, email, phone number, and how much they're looking to invest, then there's a whole slew of like text messages, automated text messages that go out. automated emails that go out. And then you have to make sure you're connected and the investor relations team on your client side is ready to handle these calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they're making the right calls. And then also, like, even the Calendly that we use for investors to go on after they fill out the form and schedule time with the investors team, that Calendly link has to have certain information that
Mhm.
emphasizes the investment opportunity and why they should book a call with the investor relations team.
Yeah.
So like those, and I'm just talking high level
I
here.
know.
All these things have to go right.
Right.
And then once they schedule the call, there's a whole slew of things that has to go right on the investor relations side. And that's like what I just described there is an ideal like flow. So like
Mhm.
they see the content, they click on it, they come to the site, they fill out the form, they talk to the investor relations team, they go back and forth, build a relationship, and then in a couple weeks or whatever, they're writing checks for like $100,000, for this investment opportunity, or 25K or $38,000, whatever that minimum investment is, or maybe they decide to invest more. So there's a lot that has to go right. Am
Yeah.
I missing something?
With that, not
Mhm.
without going into like further detail, but what
Yeah.
that reminded me of is like
Mhm.
when we were in the hiring process,
Mhm.
I had asked you a question about like, somebody responded to an interview request with misspelled words, or they were really poor with their communication. And you
Mhm.
said, the interview process starts the moment that they fill out the application. And so this
That's
translates
correct.
here because the
Oh,
moment
that's
that
a
an
great point.
investor fills out that form saying, I'm interested, you're the investor relations team, the whole process that you just described has to be, essentially perfect to court that investor because they're now interviewing the business as
Mhm.
to, is this where I want to put hundreds of thousands, millions of
Mhm.
dollars in? Did I get a notification saying thank you for opting in? Thank you just goes a
Mhm.
long way, just in general. Did I
Right.
get redirected to the website to learn more? They're and They're not always
Mhm.
thinking this
Mhm.
intricately, but they'll
Mhm.
notice when you do it wrong.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
won't
that's
they
a
won't
that's a good
think
point.
about, did
Mhm.
I get served the next video to educate me more? Did I get to go to the
Mhm.
website to learn about why I should be an investor? But
Yeah.
when they do get those,
Mhm.
it can be such a green flag when they get that follow up that's like courting them and it's
Mhm.
spelled correctly. They look at the calendar booking page and it says, the information that they need,
The
not
little
just like
stuff.
sample booking page, or maybe there is an image of the person on there. Now they get to know who they're going to be speaking to. All those little things that are such minor details can be such an issue and be the reason they don't call you back, they don't attend the Zoom, they don't invest their money. So
Right.
we have all that built out at Valiant
Mhm.
to support it.
Right.
It's just
Yeah, and we do, and we continue to tweak it and improve it all the time, right? But like I said, like everything has to go right for the capital to be raised. Like, and we've plugged all the holes that
yeah,
come with digital marketing and how to raise capital. Because if you've tried to raise capital using digital marketing, let's say you've tried to raise like 5 million bucks or 10 million or 25 or 50, and you weren't able to do it, that just means like there were holes in your process and your strategy, overall strategy, because like it works every time. Like our clients raise money every time they work with us
hmm
if everything goes right on our side, which it does, and then the clients have a strong investor relations team and they actually pick up the phone and call,
yeah.
which is a whole topic that we can talk about.
But we're also
Hmm.
finding, new solutions too to negate
Hmm.
like when that is an issue. When
Right.
somebody might not be able to answer the phone call, they don't have the team to support it. Like what
Yeah.
more can we provide to
We
support
just
that so that there is never that conversation ever again?
Yeah. So the last, I feel like I always say this is the last hole that
Last
we're
piece.
plugging. Yeah. But the last hole is we're now implementing schedulers. So
hmm
as the leads come in, because once there's like 7 to 10 leads a day coming in, by day 30, and let's just take the number 7, by day 30 you have 210 leads that opted in, investors that opted in, that your one or two people, like one person or two people IR team has to contact and follow up with and try to schedule appointments. So what we're doing now, we're testing this with 3 of our partners, including ourselves and our agency.
Always.
Yeah, yeah, always when we test things out. So we have this partner now that's calling the leads and then scheduling the actual Zoom call. So we're taking that off of our client's plate too. So like literally now, all our client has to do is show up to the Zoom call and pitch their investment. That
Yeah.
is it. Like we're a total solution. We build the ads, do the copy, the videos, the graphics, the funnel. We have the data. We tell you the best practices. We create the follow-up automations of email, text, and voice drops if it makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, and now we're inserting appointment setters to where they're gonna contact the leads to just set up the appointments on their Calendly link. I don't know what else we're supposed to do once we do all of that.
Well, the last missing
Uh,
piece is the person that can actually raise the capital, which, as you learned on the last episode,
right,
Jagger is pursuing licensing to
right,
do such,
yeah,
provide better counseling, not counseling, better consulting,
right.
and then actually being able to do such. So
Yeah,
we're
because
trying to
initially,
be it all.
yeah, because initially I had no like interest in like raising the capital side of things,
Mhm.
but with Jagger's initiative, and I know he's so energetic and enthusiastic about it, but like I'm like okay with it.
Yeah.
So right now, as an agency, we're a digital marketing agency, but we do everything up to scheduling the investor. So like really, our partners, it's gonna sound a little like a plug-in, but like if you're looking to raise capital, then we are the agency that you should be working with.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I know we're good. I know we are. I'm confident in what it is that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else you'd like to add for that piece?
No, that's really it. No,
That was my
good.
last question, number 3. I really like
Hmm.
the idea of us, continuing to have, maybe it's 3 questions, maybe it's 4, depending on
Sure.
the time frame that we spend on each. But I like having that segment in there.
Yeah,
So
I do. I like
I
this.
think
I
we should
love it.
continue.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate everybody that tuned into Valiant Volumes today, and visit our website. It should be revamped hopefully by the time you listen to this Valiant Volume. I don't know
Yeah.
why, like it's hard for me to say that.
It's because we used to have the digital dive that we
Okay,
focused on,
yeah.
and now Valiant Volume.
Got it. Yeah. But
But
anyways, go to our site if you're interested, or hit up Jagger.
yeah.
Jagger at valyntdigital.com. That's spelled VALYNT digital.com.
And if you have any questions that you want us to address on an episode in the future, email hello@valiantdigital.com.
There you go. Talk
Thanks.
soon.
Bye.
Peace.